Hi guys, my name is Marie and welcome to my Kawaii world. So today I thought I would take you to one of my husband's favorite neighborhoods in Seoul, and that's Mangwon-dong. So let's go check it out. Mangwon-dong is a neighborhood that's on the outskirts of Hongdae. On Instagram, it's probably most famous for its pink vending machine cafe, which is called Zapangi, but mixed in with a few trendy cafes and restaurants is a local market or shijang, which has a very old Korea or working class feel to it. And I think that this neighborhood is still very working class. Mangwon Station is on line 6 of the Seoul subway line, and you want to go out of exit 2 to access the market and all of the cool cafes that I'm going to show you guys. I'm taking the stairs, but I believe there's also an elevator here, so if you need to bring your stroller, then you can do that. When you come out of exit 2, you're going to turn right, and then you'll see a drugstore called lalala in front of you, and then you're going to make a right on the next street, and you're just going to keep walking down the street to get to Mangwon Market. If you've been following me for a while, then you know that my family and I like to play claw machines, and there's actually a really good arcade here that has prizes that seem to be really winnable. We always seem to walk away with something from this arcade. This is not at all the main attraction of this place, but I just had to mention it. If you keep walking down that main street, you'll see lots of different Korean restaurants. I haven't eaten at a lot of these places. There's also fruits and vegetable vendors, and then if you walk about 7 to 10 minutes from the train station, you will reach Mangwon Market. Mangwon Market is a little bit different from other traditional markets in Korea, which I feel have become very touristy, but this place still retains this old world traditional Korean feel. They sell really just a little bit of everything. This is a popular tonkatsu place, and there's even a daiso in this market, but most of the vendors here just sell regular food like nuts, fruits and vegetables, all kinds of seafood, both fresh and dried, meat, rice and beans, and traditional Korean desserts and snacks. Plants, just a little bit of everything really, and I think that the prices here are cheaper compared to other places. Mangwon-dong is a really great place to come for cheap Korean street food, and you can actually pay for it with your T-money card or subway card, which is nice. This is jokbal or pig's feet. They also have tteokbokki, omok or odeng, which are fish cakes, twigim, which is basically fried food, mayakimbap. This is some kind of breaded and fried fish, hotdog. And whenever some place appears on TV, you'll know it from the signage. But this fried chicken place is actually really good, and we always make sure to pick some of it up whenever we are in Mangwon Market. There's also a place that serves fried croquettes with different fillings in it, and it's really popular. They've also appeared on TV. Most of the street food places are places where you have to stand and eat, but some of them have little spots where there's seating.
And they give us the soup. There's this blood sausage and kidney. It's like duck.
Right now.
If you come out of the market and just keep walking down that main street that we were on before, you'll come to the part of the neighborhood that has some trendy cafes. This first cafe is kind of interesting. You can tell by looking at this whole setup that trademarks are not strictly enforced in Korea, but these Chanel No. 5 trash can barrels make for a pretty picture. I'm only mentioning this because it's right next to Japangi, which is this pink vending machine cafe, and Japangi means vending machine in Korean, and the door of the cafe is a pink vending machine. It doesn't actually work though. You guys have probably seen this place on Instagram because of the pink door, but inside they also have really pretty photogenic desserts. This ice cream cone reminds me of the bee stopping ice cream cones, but they also have cake in a tin with a mermaid tail. I found these cakes to be super sweet, and they have a ton of frosting in them. I think that the desserts are a little sweet for my liking, so if you're somebody who likes really sweet American style desserts, then you might like it, but personally I prefer the less sweet Asian version. I mostly like this cafe because it's just so pretty. Myeonjip. Myeon is a Busan-style cold noodle dish. The noodles are made of wheat and then they're served in this icy cold beef broth that tastes tangy and sweet and sour. It's kind of like the Busan version of naengmyeon, if you know what that is. And it's really refreshing on a hot day. I think this is actually my favorite place to eat in Mangwon-dong. And you can season the broth with this spicy mustard. It gives it a little bit of a tang. And then you mix it all up. It comes with a spicy sauce on top, but if you have kids, then you can ask them to remove it or serve it on the side. I think they actually just gave my kids their own free bowl of noodles. In Korea, we will just cut everything up with scissors, including noodles, and I'm wearing a bib so I don't splash the spicy sauce on my shirt. They serve this savory bowl of beef broth on the side, and all this only costs 6,000 won, which is less than $6. What a steal. Next to the Myeon restaurant is a cafe called Seoul Coffee, Seoul Bread, Seoul Ice Cream. I've been to their Ikseondong location, but this one serves the same stuff. They have bread with gigantic chunks of butter in it. They also have ice cream and coffee, and this is a good place to come if you like that minimalist chic vibe. If you turn right when you come out of this cafe, and then there's going to be an intersection and you're going to want to turn left, and we're going to go to Dear My Ferry Cafe. The outside is just so dreamy. I love this lavender color. It's my favorite color in the whole world, and the cafe just looks so amazing and inviting on the outside, including this little green door that looks like it leads nowhere. But if you go inside, personally, I was a little bit underwhelmed by this cafe. I went with my daughter though, and she absolutely loved it. She thought that it was so pretty and magical. I think that because we were in Korea, my standards were a little bit higher, and that's why I felt kind of underwhelmed by this cafe. But if we were in the US, I would be pretty pleased with this place because there were a lot of cute little details, like this little cart with all the little fairy tools, and they put the macaroon cookies under a little dome, which was really cute. My daughter really liked the drink, and there are just a lot of cute little details here. There's this book where you can actually write a note to the fairy, and there were 8 books, so a lot of people had written notes, but my daughter loves writing and drawing, so she had a lot of fun just writing a note to the fairies. If you turn left when you come out of Dear My Ferry and walk down the street for a bit, you'll hit Viva Salon Toy Coffee. And this is a coffee shop as well as a vintage toy store. This is one of the first vintage toy stores that I've visited in Seoul, and I found that this is like a growing trend here. But this place serves a really cute Cookie Monster latte. They have a Minions latte, which we also tried, and they can make it without coffee for kids. And they also have seasonal drinks, like I think there was a Jack Skellington one for Halloween. But this is just a really fun place to look around if you like vintage toys and kiddie things like that. Malang Candy Shop. This cute little store sells stationery and other cute trinkets from independent artists. There's a resident cat walking around that isn't shy, so if you're allergic to cats like me, then you'll want to be careful not to touch anything. A lot of the stationery and art here is really unique and cute, and I haven't really seen it elsewhere in Korea. Next to the Malang Candy Shop is a restaurant called Subic, and they serve Japanese-style bento lunches. It's run by Koreans, but they have some really good bentos. I got the salmon over rice, and Sienna got lime soba, which was really good. Also, they have a nice little collection of cute chopstick holders, so I thought that was really fun to look at. After seeing this, I wanted to start collecting chopstick holders for myself. Let's turn left when we come out of Subic and past the first main street, and then on the second street, when you see the G25 convenience store, you're going to want to turn right, and I'm going to take you to one of my favorite cafes in Mangwon-dong, which is Deep Blue Lake. Deep Blue Lake is a 3-story cafe that's kind of like a house with cute little vignettes throughout. On the first floor, you can order your drinks and desserts, and the second floor is more of a chic living room type of space, and then the top floor is a kids area, and it's decorated accordingly. After hanging out here, I basically wanted all of the items on the 3rd floor in my own home, and I actually bought that cloud lamp after visiting this cafe. Deep Blue Lake roasts their own coffee beans, and they have a really small dessert selection, but I thought that both the coffee and the pound cake was really good. Let's go back onto the main street that we were walking on before and make a right on the next street. We're gonna check out Tokyo Bingsu. Tokyo Bingsu is probably my favorite place to get bingsu in Seoul. They serve Japanese style kakigori and they use actual fresh fruits to make the toppings. I always order the tomato bingsu, which is made from freshly blended tomatoes and then topped with condensed milk and black pepper. I know it sounds kind of weird, but it's so good. Let's go back the way we came and return to the main street and then turn right. You'll hit Gelateria Dongdou. This little gelato shop barely has any seats, but it always seems to be packed with people. You can choose 2 main flavors, and then I like how they give you 2 little sample flavors on the top, which look like bunny ears. The gelato here is really good, and it's also quite affordable. Despite being a tiny shop, they still manage to pack in cute little details here and there, which really make you smile. Now let's just go right next door. Subic is the most adorable little toy shop. Kids under age 8 are not allowed, and I normally don't feature these kinds of stores, but this shop is just too cute to not feature. It's filled with funky little cool vintage items and new stationery items, and I feel like this shop epitomizes what Koreans consider as cute. It's not super saccharine cute like Japanese stuff is, but it's a little bit ugly and funky and cool. There are a lot of vintage Japanese things in here, and I just like going in to look around. I ended up buying a keychain from here and also a miniature roadie and some postcards. Ichizen. This is a tempura restaurant that's super popular. I was walking around Mangwon-dong and I saw people lining up for this restaurant, and it hadn't opened yet, so since I had time and I didn't have my kids with me and the line didn't seem too long, I decided to wait. These people were lining up to put their name on the waiting list. The restaurant seats only about 10 to 12 people, and once you sign your name, you have to stand around the restaurant and wait for your name to be called, because if they call your name and you're not there, then you miss your spot. The tempura itself was made to order and was very fresh, but I thought that the sauce was a little bit too salty for my liking, and having lived in Japan, I feel that it's just outrageous that anyone should have to wait in line for a tendon. I would eat this if I didn't have to wait for it, but I didn't think it was even remotely worth the hour-long wait. If you turn left when you come out of the restaurant and you walk all the way down to the end of the street and then cross the street, you'll see an ice cream parlor called Nocturne No. 5. And when I first heard about this place, I was really excited because they specialize in green tea ice cream, and there are 5 different grades of green tea, and this reminded me a lot of Suzukian, which is a green tea ice cream shop in Japan that I've been to, and it was so amazing. So I was super excited and I was ready to replicate my experience in Japan. But this place, for being a green tea ice cream shop, they didn't seem to have their green tea ice cream down. I got the darkest grade of ice cream and I felt that it was just not well balanced. I thought it was a little too bitter, and while everything looked pretty, they had great design, great presentation. I was just disappointed by the ice cream. I'm somebody who likes this really deep, rich, dark matcha flavor, but for me something just was off here. There are a lot of other restaurants and cafes here, but these are the ones that I've been to. So in sum, when you visit Mangwon-dong, I would either eat Korean street food or milmyeon, and milmyeon if you want to sit down and eat. I would make sure to take a picture at Gapanggi and get a pretty dessert there, but it might be super sweet and maybe not that good. My favorite cafe to hang out in for coffee is Deep Blue Lake, and they roast their own beans, so their coffee is really good. I'd also stop by those cute little shops like Subic, Malang Candy Shop, and Viva Salon. And then for dessert, I'd probably get ice cream at Gelateria Dongdou or Tokyo Bingsu. And make sure to pick up some Korean fried chicken from the local market on your way home. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you want to see more videos on things to do in Seoul, then check out this playlist right here. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye!